Hey YouTube, it's your boy Widgie here, coming at you with another Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition video. And it's a month on, ladies and gents. It is a month on to this day. I hope to this day, depends when I actually release this video, but it's going to be a month thereabout of when the announcement came through, the cancellation of the DLC for Age of Empires 3. And I wanted to do this video just to see where you guys are with it. That's one of the main things. I want you guys to let me know in the comments below where you are with this, how you're feeling about it. Are you feeling positive? Do you think there is a chance that this DLC is actually going to get released at some point in the future? And if not, are you just comfortable playing the game? You enjoyed the game for what it is, and it's maybe made you play the game even more. Or potentially the other way, where you've now just done with the game. You've been playing it for maybe a good couple of years, and since seeing this, you've basically just, you're completely out of there, and you're out, and you're on to something else. So I just wanted to share this, which is the petition. So I did a YouTube short a couple of weeks ago, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, getting you guys to put out your petition and to sign the petition, to reconsider the cancellation of the DLC. So if we have a look here, so you can see we are so close, ladies and gents. We are 136 people away from signing it. And actually 199 people have signed this so far this week. So there's still people signing it. I think it's going to get there eventually. But the next question is, what happens after the 5,000? What happens? Now, a lot of people have said that if this does happen, then it can be shared. We can show Age of Empires, the developers and the publishers, that we've had 5,000 people wanting this DLC to actually go ahead. Is it going to change anything? Right, guys, I've actually done some research here on some examples where a petition was put out on whether it was a decision by the developers, DLC, whatever it may be, on video games, and the outcomes of those, and where I think personally this is actually going to go for Age of Empires 3 here, for this petition in particular. One of them was Mass Effect 3 from Ash's DLC controversy. Players put a petition out, however EA defended its decision and it didn't go ahead with it. Star Wars Battlefront 2, the loot box controversy. I mean, that was huge though. Do you remember that, guys? You must have heard about that with the insane kind of microtransactions and gambling and stuff like that. So EA did actually modify its progression system for that game. Destiny 2, now this is probably one of the ones that you could say maybe is where it's worked. So Destiny 2 Curse of Osiris DLC lockout issue. So players petitioned Bungie after realizing that the DLC made previously accessible content unavailable to those who didn't buy it. Bungie eventually reversed the decision. But the thing that I'm finding with these, ladies and gents, is that it's not really like a full-blown DLC. It's maybe something within the game, whether it's like loot boxing and gambling and microtransactions, or whether it's like a actual particular mechanic in the game, progression system or something like that. It's not a full sort of made up DLC, right? And this is the issue, right? These games that I've just mentioned are huge games, way bigger than Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition, bigger budget, bigger, larger number of staff working on it. And there's a lot more people looking at it as well. A lot more people looking at it. And these decisions and some of these issues and these controversial things would upset shareholders. And there would be these meetings, these discussions, these SLT meetings. The senior leadership team would all huddle round, and sometimes these decisions would actually change. But in Age of Empires 3, we're talking about a DLC that probably hasn't been developed at all. There's probably maybe been some concept art, some ideas, if that. I don't think any true work has actually ever happened on this DLC. So you have to ask the question, at that kind of stage in the project, if this was to get 5,000 signatures, right, which is a lot of people, you got to look at the player base of the game right now. Concurrent players is around 4,000. So probably ballpark, maybe 20, 30,000 people are sort of interacting with the game. Out of those people, 5,000 of them maybe sign this petition that they want the DLC to continue. So in all honesty, guys, I just don't think it's going to happen. I admire everyone's enthusiasm and commitment to the game. I do. It served me very well. I've played it since it released. It kind of made my channel. It introduced me to so many people in the community, and I still do content for it to this day because I know that this game, it was already a cult kind of following game, but now it's going to be even more than that because there isn't going to be any more content or support for this game really, and that just sort of cements that even further, you know. For these die-hard fans that play this game, they're not going to stop playing it. They're going to continue, and there's going to be a very loyal following for the game. But what I think will happen is that over time, I think the player base will start to fall, concurrent players, but it will get to a stable position. What that position is, I don't know. I mean, we always love looking at the Steam charts. We love it, right? So if we were to look at the Steam charts for Age of Empires 3, so currently, it always loves doing this. It never actually finds the game for me for some reason. But Age of Empires 3 has dropped by 4% in the last month. So this is the first drop in 5 months, ladies and gents. The first drop in concurrent or average player base. So at the moment, we're near about 5,000 people playing the game right now. 5,000. And it's steadily increased, and now it's getting to a point where it's just dropping down a bit. So I don't think that's any real concern. I'm more than happy, of course, to share it. There you go. So I don't think it's a concern. You know, there's always got to be a peak to a graph if you're into investment and stocks and trading. There will get a point where it gets to a peak, and it has to dip. You know, it has to dip. The demand can't meet the supply at that point, so it dips, right? Or the supply, outweighs the demand. I can't even do basic economics, and there'll be a ceiling point where it will hit and it will fall back down. And I think that's what's happened here. You can see it. Look, it's kind of peaks here because people are getting really interested. There's a lot of growing interest in the DLC from around September, around August time, really. You can see that it's slowly started to grow and grow and grow. And then with the decision of what's happened, you can see that there's this drop off. Now, is that just a natural drop off because it gets to a certain peak, or is it because of this announcement? It's probably the announcement. 4% drop off so far is not ideal. But really, I mean, the decision came out on the 28th of January, right? So around here. And that's where it dipped a little bit there. But it's still doing strong, ladies and gents. There's a strong following for this game, and I think a lot of people have a lot of enthusiasm and optimism about the petition. And we'll see what happens. It's going to get to 5,000. I don't think there's going to be any change. I don't want to be a pessimist. I'm more of a realist. I just don't think it's going to happen. But that kind of leaves me with the wrap up, ladies and gents. So I've shown some examples of in the past where decisions have been reverted and my reasoning as to why. We've had a look at the little gain and the little change over the last month and where we currently are with the petition. So I will leave a link down below for the petition. By all means, let's get that to 5K. Let's shout about it. Let's be positive. But I'm just being real. I don't think there's going to be any change. But my main concern, which I would actually petition more for, is to make sure that we still have routine balance changes or balance patches. Or maybe we don't have to have a balance change or a balance patch. We don't have to have it if it's not required. But if something happens, if there's some kind of cheese strat, or if there's something that's discovered by a player that is ridiculously overpowered, then we want the devs to be able to do something about that and to be able to rectify it. But currently, from that announcement a month ago, that's not going to happen at all, which is very scary because there's still some strange things in the game, whether it's units, whether it's technologies. There's strange things that just don't add up sometimes. And yes, this is probably the best sort of place that we've got the game so far in regards to balance, but there's always some work to be done, and it would be nice to have that safety net. Just to know that, okay, there is that support still. So I would more petition for that than the DLC. That's me personally. But guys, I'm going to wrap it up right here. And as I said at the start, let me know in the comments below what you think about this. I want to know all your all your thoughts, how you feel about it. It's been a month on, and I'm probably going to be showcasing hopefully some of the Immortal Pillars, the Age of Mythology DLC that's coming out. So I'll see if I can try and do some stuff on that if you guys are interested. And I'm still going to do some AoE3 stuff. I'm doing those first 5-minute guides. I kind of want to get all those done for the civs for you, so you guys have a rough idea of how to start out and play those civs if you're a beginner to the game, or if you've never played the civ before and you want some rough ideas of how to play. So I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to be doing more discussion videos like this. It might not be on Age of Empires 3. It might be on other RTS games and strategy games around at the moment. So make sure to keep a lookout. Thank you so much for your support. You guys mean a lot. And I will start streaming a bit more in the near future. Work has been really, really hectic, so it's taken up a lot of my time recently. So hopefully I'll be back at some point and be able to get involved in that. All right, guys, have a good one, and I'll catch you in the next one.